Part 236. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2351. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, rubbed his forehead, and then followed suit. If there is such a sign now, quickly kill it. At first glance, this kid is the kind with a lot of tricks. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, was talking and then complained from the side. Murong, you promised, but he was muttering in his heart. You are done reminding. Now it's not just as simple as a sign, this raging fire has long been burning. It's too late to let go now. The tower of the school, the 9th floor. More than half of the cleanup work is now complete. On the 9th floor at this moment, besides Fang Fan and other 200 people, there are about 300 people. These 300 people are all elites among the elites. Basically, they all come from the 3 top genuine first-rank forces and the first-class Temple of the Light Alliance. Our current number is almost the same. There are only 500 people left. Clean up all the lower-rank students among you. It's just right to gather 500 people like this. Seeing that you have cleaned up a lot of waste this time, let's give you a chance to stay here. But in the future, when you see the Son of God, you must respectfully salute, you know. Just as Fang Fan was about to clean up further, a young man in white suddenly walked out in front of him, with an arrogant face, and his nostrils were about to go up to the sky. This way of fingering and painting, those who don't know think that Fang Fan is still his subordinate. Which onion are you? Fang Fan shrugged and said indifferently. Now what kind of cat or dog really dare to show off? The tone of this speech is really too embarrassing. Which onion are you asking me? You don't know the Son of God. There are still people who don't know the Son of God. While the young man in white was talking, he laughed along with him, as if he had encountered something ridiculous. That belly laugh gesture is very funny. Fang Fan just looked at him like this, really felt like watching a sand sculpture. Either report your identity and get out. Either don't report your identity, I'll throw it down for you right now. Fang Fan waved his hand and said calmly, there is really too much nonsense. Ridiculous. How dare you speak so shamelessly? Do you think I'm a waste like Duguayajian? Duguayajian is not worthy to lift my shoes. This Son of God is Zuokyo Taxu, the first-class godson of the Light Alliance Temple. Fight with me, do you have the qualifications? Quickly kneel down and apologize. Be a horseboy for me in the future. It's, Fang Fan, right? Do you think you are beautiful? Feel proud to be able to get the first place in the school's token list. That's because I don't want to take it, so it's your turn. If you can't even see this, then you are really stupid. Now the opportunity is given to you, take advantage of it. Zuokyo Taxu, the godson of the first-class Light Alliance Temple, was talking, and the arrogant look on his face became more and more. After Zuokyo Taxu finished speaking, a group of people around him started booing. First-class son of the Temple of the Light Alliance, this status is too strong. Hey, if it's just a godson, then it's nothing. The most important thing is that this Zuokyo stepping snow godson is the son of the first-class Zuokyo saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2352. With a single word, the audience was shocked. Everyone started whispering to each other, and the expressions on their faces changed completely. I'm going, the first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance. There is also a saint's father, this identity is awesome. The first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance must be a demigod. This is a real demigod descendant. And it's only one generation. It's amazing. Those descendants of the so-called demigod's bloodline are all bullshit, and that bloodline has been diluted many times, but this one is more powerful. There is a father of a demigod saint, this son of Zuoki Otaxia can run amok in Guangming Academy, right? Who says it's not? In the entire Guangming Academy, who dares to fight him? If you can become the pony of this kind of person, there will be many benefits in the future. No, shouldn't such a person go to the priest academy? After graduating, he can directly enter the first-class temple of the Light Alliance to join the job, and be surrounded by a holy father. Isn't it flattering? Maybe these young masters have unique ideas. They still want to take an ordinary path, but they don't want to take the path arranged by their family. Hey, to put it bluntly, I still haven't been beaten by the society, so I became like this. I guess this Fang Fan is going to be cowardly. Who dares to fight with the second generation of this kind of saint? Isn't he courting death? Enduring a moment of calm. Boom. Everyone was still chirping and discussing 1 second, and the next second they were collectively confused. I saw Fang Fan walking forward with a calm face, punching Zuoki Otaxu, the godson of the first-class Light Alliance temple, on the face, and then picked him up with one hand. Then he walked towards the entrance of the 9th floor very calmly positioned to go over. It's obvious what Fang Fan wants to do. Everyone's eyes focused on each other, each in a daze. Is this playing with a hammer? Can it still work? Amazing class. If you don't support the wall, I will submit to you. Strong. This is the real boss. Don't care. Damn, don't you look cool when you look at it? What does this big brother Fang Fan want to do? No. No, he really wants to throw this first-class Light Alliance godson Zuoki Otaxu down. This is also a decent person, and there is still a saint or father. There was a lot of discussion among the people, and Fang Fan's Hung did exactly what everyone expected. You, what are you doing? You dare to hit me? You let me go. My nose is bleeding. Fang Fan. Fang Fan. Are you crazy? The identity of the Son of God is here, aren't you afraid? Do you believe that the Son of God can destroy you with a single thought? Fang Fan. Let me go. I'm giving you one last chance. Let me go now, and I can still take you as my servant. If you miss this opportunity, you will never have such a good chance in your life. You, what are you doing? Let me go. Boom. From the entrance of the 9th floor, Fang Fan threw Zuokiu, the godson of the first-class Light Alliance temple, on the snow, and then he fell freely in the air. After a lot of acceleration, he finally fell heavily on the floor of the 8th floor of the tower of the academy. The scene once seemed extremely miserable. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2353. Fang Fan. Fang Fan, you really dare to throw me. It hurts me to death. Fang Fan. You and I are sworn to death. Zuoki Otaxu, the first-class son of the Temple of the Light Alliance who fell on the 8th floor, immediately screamed. But at this moment, he can only yell a few times at the bottom, and he can't get up at all. He didn't expect that someone would be so disrespectful to him. What is his identity? Doesn't he have any points in his heart? This wave after wave is really too embarrassing. No matter how Zuoki Otaxu roared, Fang Fan didn't bother to answer. He immediately turned his attention to the rest of the people on the 9th floor of the tower of the academy. The smile on Fang Fan's mouth gradually became real. This is getting more and more interesting. This wave after wave is very graceful. A wicked smile appeared on the corner of Fang Fan's mouth. Are you going to jump down by yourself, or let me do it? Fang Fan shrugged and asked sincerely. Absolute combat power is there, and it can completely kill all dissatisfied. This is high profile. Our number is almost the same now, almost 500 people, why let us go down? That's right, according to the rules of the school, 500 people can be left on each floor. You can't be so domineering. Why don't you go down by yourself? Humph. Anyway, I think it's okay to be so shameless. You offended Zuoki Otaksu, the first-class god of the Light Alliance Temple, you are finished, and now you want to offend us all? Then you are really finished. Let us stay here, we won't care about you. There was a lot of noise, and it seemed very noisy. Who said there were only 500 people? Aren't there 550 people? Otherwise, which one of you will volunteer to go down 50 people first? Who wants to stand up first? Besides, just now you were the same as the enemy who wanted to drive me out of the 9th floor. You are only allowed to drive me away, but I am not allowed to drive you away. Why are you so overbearing? The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly. How could he turn a blind eye to the tens of billions plan? After Fang Fan finished speaking, everyone looked at me and I looked at you, all seemed very urgent. It's the last step, who wants to go down? No one wants to be one of those 50 people. As for being selfless, that's all bullshit. In the end, profit comes first. If we don't go down, what will you do to us? Our number is no less than yours. Besides, we are elites of all major forces. Do you really dare to offend the entire sanctuary of the firmament? Hee hee. I don't believe it anymore. That's right. What are we afraid of? Go up and do it. With such strength, don't panic. Don't panic. We still have a chance. If you don't want to live, then don't live. Forcing us to the end, you, Fang Fan, have nothing to eat? If so many of us rush forward, I'm afraid you won't be able to hold back. Everyone should save some face for themselves. That's right, that's the truth. What should be said and what should not be said, you must show your posture. There was a lot of noise, and the excitement on everyone's faces was beyond words. Anyway, I can't tell the reason in a short time. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2354. Since you don't want to go down, then let's go down together. Do it. Fang Fan stretched, and then ordered directly. I've been waiting for your words for a long time. Boy Fang Fan, this time I did a great job. When the time comes to share the spoils, give me a little more. Bai Piao roared twice, then picked up a 3-star sanctuary level student and sent it directly to the entrance of the 9th floor, then kicked it down. Bai Piao's combat power is indeed not good, but his defense power is indeed too strong. He just hugged him like this, and he beat him with his fist, but there was no reaction at all. How awesome! It can only be said to be so powerful. The 6 3-star sanctuary heroes entered the crowd with their bare hands, causing a wave of waves, and the beating was over. Yan 11, Gisha, and Lang Tianya are even more powerful. The 9 legions under Fang Fan's command have always been prohibited by order, and it has been fully demonstrated in this battle at this moment. As for Fang Fan himself, drawing the combat power of a 6-star sanctuary level god pet, it is completely irresistible to meet gods and kill gods, meet Buddhas and kill Buddhas here. The scene once seemed to be extremely explosive. Everyone's eyes gathered here, and the expressions on their faces were vividly displayed. They did think of resistance, but in the end it was just a situation of being crushed. Brother Fang Fan, give this guy to me. Hey hey. Gisha clenched his fists and charged through the crowd with a smile on his face. So cool. The cultivators of their fallen sanctuary have always been known for their combat prowess, and at this moment it is fully revealed, and there is a sense of ease and freehand brushwork in the whole body. It is completely strangling. There is only one word: cool. It's been a long time since I've had such fun. Guisha only felt full of fighting spirit. Following brother Fang Fan is really comfortable. Gisha muttered to himself, and then rushed forward to join the battlefield. 10 minutes later, the battle ended, and the 9th floor of the tower of the academy suddenly became much emptier. Now the idlers have basically been cleaned up. Only Fang Fan, Guisha, Lang Tianya, and Huangfu Sui's subordinates were left on the 9th floor of the entire academy tower. A total of about 200 people. According to the calculation based on the full quota of 500 people on the 9th floor of the Tower of Learning, almost 250 places can be released. Boy Fang Fan, cough, is it our turn to take off? Is your tens of billions plan able to be implemented? Bai Piao rubbed his hands together, looking like a money fan. The current Bai Piao has completely changed, becoming more and more greedy for money. In vain. Certainly. Go and tell them that if you want to come up, you can get 100 million per person. Go. Fang Fan nodded, and then ordered. I go. It's not appropriate. I'm just a kid. Bai Piao raised his eyebrows, and then complained to the side. This guy is quite treacherous. He knew something was wrong, so he thought about Go Yubo. Going out to talk now, isn't it just to make everyone hate him? Although Bai Piao didn't care about these things, he still had to avoid them. Oh. You are not willing. I was thinking of giving you an extra star core. After all, your performance is not bad. But if you don't want to, then forget it. That's it, I will take this star core myself. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2355. Fang Fan waved his hand, then said with a smile. Things have come to this, how things should be handled and how to do, there should always be a charter. At this point, that's all. Cough. Who said I don't want to go? I'm just asking. I've never been interested in star cores. I mainly want to make some contribution to our collective. These are all things I should do. Everyone wait, I'll come as soon as I go. With his head held high, Bai Piao came to the entrance of the 9th floor of the Tower of the Academy. At this moment, Bai Piao had just emerged, and the people below began to curse crazily. You bastards, what did you drive us all down for? There are obviously 500 people at the top. Now that we are all driven down, the quota is wasted. That's right. What do you guys mean? Can you stop being so shameless? Shameless you. I think they are clearly afraid that the mentors of the God of War Academy will fall in love with us elites and abandon them, so they drive us away in a hurry, so that only they themselves are in the 9th floor, then the mentors of the God of War Academy can only choose apprentices from among them. Hey, you still have such thoughts? Isn't it too despicable? How can you be like this? Sue. You must sue. Ah, I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. That's it. Shameless. Obscenity. If you have the ability, get down and let's fight to the death. Jean. We are absolutely worthy. Do you have the guts? Come down. The roars continued, and Bai Piao suddenly felt that his ears were going to be deafened. The deafening feeling was too real. Shut up for labor and management. What is it called? A group of defeated generals. Tell you, there are still 250 places on the 9th floor. In order to show the preciousness of the position on the 9th floor, and to respond to the school's call for admissions, I will replace Fang Fan to express my sincere greetings to you. Fang Fan said, as long as you spend 100 million low-grade Star Core sponsorship fees, one person can come up. Only 250 places, First come first served. It depends on your speed now. Fang Fan said, this is also to give back to you, to give you hope, and to not let go of your desire to join the God of War Academy. It's also for you to cherish this opportunity to choose a mentor. This is what Fang Fan said, I'm just a messenger. Bai Piao barked his teeth and roared a wave. Anyway, he conveyed the meaning clearly, but Fang Fan on the left seemed to stay out of the matter completely. It means that Fang Fan asked you for the Star Core, and it has nothing to do with me. If you want revenge, go to Fang Fan. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth twitched. Bai Piao is getting more and more obstinate now. After Bai Piao finished speaking, the students on the 9th floor were blown away instantly. 100 million. A quota of 100 million. Grass. Crazy thinking about Star Cores? 100 million low-grade Star Cores, what can I do? Damn it, calculated in this way, 250 places, worth 25 billion low-grade Star Cores? Isn't this wealth too good to earn? Shameless. Obscene. Treacherous. This is a profiteer. Doesn't the school care? That's it? It doesn't matter. Protest. All protest. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2356. The students on the 8th floor of the entire academy tower erupted. At this moment, the resentment is soaring. It's Fang Fan. That Fang Fan did it. That Fang Fan is the mastermind. It's hard to understand. How can he behave like this? This is the Academy of Light. We are all believers in the gods of light. Great gods of light. You must eradicate this terrible heresy. No. Absolutely can't agree to this guy's shameless request, otherwise what will we do? 100 million low-grade Star Cores, this is not a small number. Protest. Resolutely protest. When we gather together, I can't believe that Fang Fan is not afraid. That's right, when this matter gets serious, I want to see how this guy arranges his back. The mentors and deans of the school are not just for nothing. Does this guy want to rely on his own strength to fight against the entire Guangming Academy? It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Laughed, my head was going to laugh off. Resolutely do not compromise with this dark force. Insist on justice. Protest to the end. On the 8th floor of the tower of the academy, there was endless roaring, and the emotions of those students seemed extremely high. Fang Fan watched all this with cold eyes, a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. On top of the tower of the academy. At this moment, all the mentors and deans of Guangming Academy are stunned. Can it still work like this? This is too goofy. Hee. Is this the high-quality student that the mentor and dean of your God of War Academy want to compete for? That's it? Greedy is not enough to swallow elephants. Never take the rules of the school into consideration. Ridiculous. Is this the vision of the mentor and dean of the God of War Academy? Seeing all this, Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, couldn't help but raise the corners of her mouth slightly, and the joy on her face also increased. This is an excellent opportunity. Those who were suppressed to death by the Jaesong Academy of the God of War Academy before, can finally take a breather now. The sharp voice of Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, spread all around, showing the excitement in her heart. Female family, know a fart. Do you know the true nature? The God of War Academy trains real fighters. Can't you train a group of sissies like your Priest Academy? I want to order this student. Tai Shuja, the super tutor of the Ares Academy, was talking and then excitedly leaned in front of the scene mirror and looked around. He felt that Fang Fan's personality was really similar to his. How can there be so many sticklers in the process of cultivation? With such a little energy, I still use it to stick to the rules and practice a hammer. As soon as Tai Shuja, the special tutor of the God of War Academy, said this, he directly made Fu Jing, the head of the Priest Academy, furious. Are all the ruffians in your God of War Academy like this? Can't you speak human words? You still slander the students of my Priest Academy as sissies. Fu Jing, the dean of the God of God Academy, was so angry that she was talking, and then, under the stimulation of anger, she strode towards the position of Tai Shuja, the special tutor of the God of War Academy, and walked for 2 steps. It seemed that she was about to come over and ask for an explanation. But after getting closer, he subconsciously took 2 steps back. The one in front of me is a necromancer, a murderous devil, a lunatic who dares to fight to the death with a demigod. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2357. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, felt that she should be more careful. Don't ask for justice back then, but fold yourself into it. I said it, didn't I? Although the students trained by the God of War Academy are not as good as the previous ones, but it is still no problem to hang and beat the students of your Priest Academy. Day by day, I just want to pray to the gods of light to bestow divine grace so that you can be promoted. It's all turned into something. If you want to get promoted, don't you know how to get promoted by yourself? Everyone is afraid of death and afraid to fight. What's the use of cultivating such waste? Is it a vase? For an exhibition. Tai Shuja, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, shouted, with an attitude of crushing everything, beating everyone who refused to accept it. Who dares to babble? At this moment, everyone looked at each other, and no one dared to say a word. After all, their status are all there. Deputy Palace Master, you don't care about this matter. Whirring. Who is this person? With him like this, how can he teach the students? Also, that Fang Fan blatantly engages in mountaintopism in the tower of the academy, and deliberately suppresses other academies, don't you just ignore it? Where is the majesty of my Guangming Academy? I think students like Fang Fan should be expelled directly. You can't reason with him. Dare to act recklessly just because you have a bit of talent. Will the sky be turned upside down in the future? Anyway, it is absolutely impossible for my Priest Academy to accept this kind of student. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, deliberately belittled from the side, and the scene once seemed extremely fierce. When will it be your turn to manage the affairs of my God of War Academy? How to deal with Fang Fan? What are you pointing fingers at? Is it related to you? It's absolutely impossible for your Priest Academy to accept Fang Fan. What about face? Can you show some face? When did Fang Fan say he wanted to go to your Priest Academy? As long as you are the Priest Academy, you will treat it as a treasure. Tai Shuja, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, waved his hand, and continued to carry out the stance of being so angry that people don't pay for their lives. Well said. Teacher Grand-Uncle, I will support you this time. When I was in the God of War Academy, I also wanted to meddle with it. Uezu has acted on behalf of me to this extent. Do you think me, the dean, is blind? Gao Song, the dean of the Ares Academy, gave a thumbs up and said firmly. The scene seemed extremely chaotic for a while, and everyone talked to each other, and the communication seemed extremely urgent. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, was bullied one after another. Her complexion could no longer be described as livid, and it was already extremely dark at this moment. Deputy Palace Master. You don't care. Students who violate order, if you don't expel them, it's too much for heaven's sake. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, let out a roar, directly stating her position. What are you so excited about? Stop making noise. What a big deal. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, rubbed his forehead, which seemed to be more and more painful. He knew that this kid would not give up until he made something happen. I had a premonition before, and now it seems that this premonition really came true. Right now I feel my head buzzing. I'm afraid it won't work if I want to be a peacemaker now. I have to come up with a plan. After all, this is a matter of Guangming Academy, and he, the deputy head of the palace, must do it well. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2358. Gao Song, Fang Fan has made it clear that he wants to go to your God of War Academy, and you will be his dean when the time comes, so tell me, what should I do? Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, couldn't think of a better solution for a while, and then directly blamed Gao Song, the head of the God of War Academy. I think, it's nothing. Although this Fang Fan has gone too far, he has never reached the level of the rules we set before. Before we stipulated that weapons cannot be used. They drove everyone out with a pair of fists. It is reasonable. When it was first set up in the tower of the academy for mentor selection, didn't you just want them to fight each other? Only in this way can we find elites. It's really done now. I think we outsiders should not interfere so much. When the time comes, we can enter the various floors of the tower of the academy and sit in command. Gao Song, the dean of the God of War Academy, smiled slightly. He thought it was quite normal. The students of the God of War Academy should be a little bit wild. If they are all well-behaved sheep, how can they be taught? Vice Palace Master, did you hear that? Look at how he became the dean. This is cover-up. Naked cover-up. If he is allowed to cover up like this, something will happen. This kind of unhealthy tendencies cannot be encouraged. Otherwise, how will we teach students in the future? If even us mentors and deans can't stop this trend, is it possible that they will follow suit? Deputy Palace Master, I think Dean Gao Song is dereliction of duty. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, made a fuss. He suffered so much grievance just now, and now he must find a way to get it back. At this moment, he was talking like this on his mouth, and the posture of gnashing his teeth was vividly displayed. It can only be said that the moment is too real. Ahajian has already shown his attitude very clearly. Why do you say that you are so busy with this woman? Speaking of dereliction of duty, is your dereliction of duty more serious? Although the Dean Gao Song didn't do very well, he was much better than you, right? How on earth do you have the nerve to say this? I heard that you also specially arranged special treatment for those special students of the first-class Temple of the Light Alliance. What? Going to curry favor with those saints and cardinals of the first-class Temple of the Alliance of Light. Tai Shuja, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, likes to tell the truth with a wave of his hand. It's just that the truth sounds a little too harsh. First, he belittled Gao Song, the head of the God of War Academy, and then called Fu Jing, the head of the God of God Academy, worthless. Gao Song, the dean of the God of War Academy, has a thick face, but he can still hold on, but Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, exploded in an instant. Because Grand Uncle G pinched her weakness. She did give special treatment to the students of the first-class Temple of the Alliance of Light, and she also had some petty thoughts to flatter her, but how could she say it openly? Isn't this too embarrassing? Uncle G, you, don't talk nonsense here. Don't think that I won't dare to do anything to you if the Deputy Palace Master is here. The teeth of Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, were chattering crazily, obviously out of extreme anger. What else do you want to do to me? Want to fight? Accompany me. Written or martial arts will do. Uncle G, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, grinned. He likes fighting the most. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2359. Yu. Rude. Fu Jing, the Dean of the Priest Academy, was about to cry. How could there be such a person in this world? This man is so shameless. Can you still show some face? Isn't it bad to be shameless? The more she thought about it, the Dean of the Priest Academy, Fu Jing, became more and more aggrieved. She couldn't stand the grievance, and then looked helplessly at Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy. Deputy Palace Master, help me. This tone has a bit of coquettish taste. If a young and beautiful woman acted like a baby, Shui Wanren might still take a breath. As for now, it's just a gasp from being frightened. Cough. Stop it. If we go to stop it now, what reason will we use? Although the people led by Fang Fan are somewhat immoral, they really haven't done anything illegal. My Guangming Academy is a place where rules are taught. So, just let him go. It just happens to let these people sharpen their arrogant temper, so that they don't have to deal with it when they first come to the academy. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, waved his hand, and then said very calmly. Gao Song, the dean of the God of War Academy, and Tai Shujia, the super tutor, each showed a satisfied expression. As for the dean of the Priest Academy, Fu Jing, who had acted coquettishly just now, was instantly stunned. This thing just passed away? That's it? How can this work? Is that all the humiliation she suffered? Deputy Palace Master. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, immediately raised her head unconvinced, and wanted to say something more. Ah, so tired. When people get old, their spirits are weak. I'm going to take a rest. Before Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, had finished speaking, Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, pretended to find an excuse and slipped away. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, just watched Shui Wanren leave with such eyes, looking even more bewildered. You are demigod, will you get tired? I believe you ghost. You are very bad old man. Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy, stomped on her foot resentfully, and her desire to complain was particularly strong. Guangming Academy, Tiandao Society Headquarters Hall. At this moment, there is also a scene mirror placed in the hall, and the target at this moment is naturally the situation in the tower of the school. 666. This kid is awesome. It has the style of my year. Tisk tisk tisk, I want to ask him for help. Damn. One person charges 100 million, and now there are more than 200 vacancies in the 9th floor, that's more than 20 billion. Why the hell didn't I think of such a chance to make a fortune? Zhou Kaiyao, vice president of Tiandao Society, was talking and then said regretfully. Snort. This person is too hostile, why do he bully people like that? And we are all from the same school, and we are all classmates. Is it really good to coerce and lure? We will study and live together in the future. This junior is too ignorant. Kui Qing, head of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, curled her lips and complained from the side. That's it? You can think of these things in your head. Do you really think that everyone is like you? There are family members who provide resources at home, and you have a thigh at the school. You don't have to suffer, and you have all the resources. Is it really easy for us grassroots cultivation? Cultivation does not require a star core. What are the cultivation resources supplied by the school enough for? Can't you generate some income yourself? I really thought everyone was a vase like you. Zhou Qiuyeo, the vice president of Tiandao Society, is completely like a hob, and he has no scruples when speaking. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2360. Yu. Zuoqiu Yao. Say more. I hugged someone's thigh. My cultivation resources are, all my own. Kui Qing, director of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, gritted her silver teeth, and followed suit in an annoyed manner. Cut. The resources you got yourself. It's not given by others. What are you pretending to be? Being a vase requires the awareness to be a vase. Have you done it and not told anyone? Who is it? Zhou Qiuyeo, vice president of Tiandao Society, shrugged and said contemptuously. You are shameless. You bastard. President. You don't care about him. Kui Qing, head of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, was about to cry. While speaking, she looked at Sun Han, the president of Tiandao Society. This Sun Han is just a feminine name, but he is indeed a real man, but because of his physique, he looks a little bloated. If an ordinary person weighs 130 to 40 caddies, then he is like 270 to 80 caddies. Just know the complaint. You still say that you are not a vase. Zhou Qiuyeo, vice president of Tiandao Society, continued to complain. Okay. If your bad things are definitely on your mouth, can't you calm down? If you don't control your mouth, it will lead to disaster sooner or later. Sun Han, the president of Tiandao Society, shook his fat body, and then said with a sigh. That's not sure. I have escaped several times by relying on my 3-inch tongue. Sometimes this mouth is my weapon in battle. Use words to disturb the mind of the enemy, so that I can act conveniently. Zhou Qiuyao shrugged his shoulders with a proud attitude. Stop talking nonsense. Talk about the recruiting of new students by our Tiandao club this year. Now the Guangming Society is also keeping a close eye on it. I mean, at least 15 of the 20 or so freshmen who are above the level of the 4-star sanctuary must be recruited. Half of the foundation must be achieved. And this Fang Fan is not a good stubble. If you can, let's recruit him too. Sun Han, the president of Tiandao Society, nodded silently while talking. As the president of Tiandao Society, he only needs to pay attention to the joining of elite students, such as those 20 or so students who were able to resist the pressure of a group of mentors and speak out in the Swifu Square. These students are basically 4-star early stage sanctuary and above, and they are all outstanding. As for the realm below the sanctuary at the beginning of the 4-star stage, as the president of Tiandao Society, Sun Han didn't care at all. Because he simply felt that it didn't matter. President, according to your opinion, how many new students should the recruitment department recruit this year? Or according to the previous standard, only recruit new students from the inner government and some new students from non-staff? Aren't the new students from foreign government considered for the time being? Kui Qing followed up and asked. She is not only the head of the logistics department of Tiandao Society, but now she is also the acting head of the recruiting department. Well, follow the old rules. Tiandao Society doesn't need waste. You are responsible for the specific matters. By the way, if Fang Fan can fight for it, he must fight for it. If he goes to the Guangming Society, it will have a great impact on us. He's a little weird. The existence of the absolute peak quasi-sacred realm can crush the existence of the 4-star peak holy realm, which is very unusual. If he is really promoted to the sanctuary realm, I'm afraid it will really be against the sky. Sun Han, the president of Tiandao Society, muttered to himself, with a sense of crisis in his eyes.